I would say this, that a lot of us did not grow up with good examples of dating while we were single, or how to date while single, because either we grew up in a two-parent household or we did grow up in a single household, and either our parents never taught us how to date, or if they did teach you how to date, they taught you how to date if they were married. As a married couple, we learned what we liked as a wife or a husband, or seeing husband or wife treatment if our parents were married, and if our parents were single, we seen them in survival mode as they were dating. So I think that a lot of people are out here and they don't really know how to date because they never really understood what dating meant or what to date means. You know, to date, especially when I started learning how to really date after dating, because I love dating. Like when I was out there single, I love to date. Like it's the favorite thing to do, because it would be, you know, going out for dinner or getting a conversation with the person, getting to know them, figuring out what it was that we both enjoyed doing, and if we were a match, or just the possibility of, is this person the one? In my mind, it was always, is this person the one? Is this person the one? Is this who God has for me? And so usually it would be, you know, talking to this person, coordinate for 3 weeks, 3 months, and usually by 3 months, if they made it past the 3 weeks, if they made it to the 3 months, usually it was done. It wasn't a match. They weren't the one. God was like, it's a no, cut them off, let them go, keep it pushing. And I think it's important, as you are out here dating, that you do date yourself, especially if you're single, that you date yourself, that you do date God. Then when you start dating a person, that you do date with God to help navigate as you are going through the challenges of dating. So it doesn't be so much like, oh, this is trash, but that he can give you discernment, that he can let you know this person doesn't mean you any well, this person doesn't really want you, this person wants what you got, this person is attracted to your light, but they're not attracted to you. This person is attracted to your family because they love how your family loves, and they want that because they need that, but it's not necessarily you, or you're not really attracted to this person and you're not listening to that voice that's telling you it's okay to let it go because of the fear of not wanting to be single, or not wanting to be alone, or trying to be on this timetable of time. And I think that you have to realize that the God that you serve is a recovery of all things. And if he's a recoverer of all things, he's like the repo man. He is reclaiming things that belongs to you that the enemy has stole. So if you're saying that you're going to trust this, if you're going to say you're going to trust God, right? And you trust everything that God has in store for you, but you can't trust him with your love life, and you can't trust him with dating, and you're not trusting him to bring you the man, but you're praying that he brings you who he has for you. So when people start coming up to you and you start entertaining dating proposals for dates, and instead of you checking in with God to make sure that it's not a waste of your time, you check in with your flesh and you accept the date and you go out on the date. And when I said that a lot of us, or a lot of people have dated wrong, it's because you're telling God, bring me who you have for me, I'm waiting. But you're not trusting the dating process, the courtship process, the process of being pruned. So that way, when you get married, that you will know how to continue to date your spouse. Because I'm going to tell you, I love being married. And I thoroughly enjoy being married. And I'm grateful. But there were times that I dated better as a girlfriend because I gave my husband, when we were dating, wife treatment, because I seen my mom, how she served my father and how my father served her as a married couple. So because that's what I seen, and that was, you know, the relationships of the other members in my church and how they would love on each other, when they would come to church, and how they was coupled up in church. And then when we would go to hang out with them outside of church to go to, you know, outside functions, I seen their relationship. So I seen a bunch of married people dating and loving on one another in a marriage. So when I got out here and it was time for me to date, my parents finally allowed me to date at the ripe age of 18. I just went wild. I was dating everything that came to me. I had no standards. I had no expectations. The only thing I had was a desire to get married. So I dated very, is this the one? Is this the one? This not the one? When's the one? When's the one? When's the one? When's the one? And I dated in an urgency to get married rather than understanding what it takes to be married, what it takes to stay married, what I need as a wife to make sure that I'm giving myself what God wants me to have, to be equipped to be the wife that he's calling me to be, what my potential husband needs from me, so that way I can give him the support that he needs from me. What will my future children need from me as a mother, so that they don't see me in a space of constant, they can see me as I'm going through life and as I'm going through trials, but they can see me and they can learn. And then it's a learning process, and it's a teaching process, and it's a communicative process. And I think too, parents sometimes do a disservice when they call themselves trying to shield their children, but not understanding that little ones see everything. And even though you are trying your best to navigate, because we are human and we are multitasking all the titles, but children still pick up on all the things that we're going through. They pick up on when we're happy. They pick up when we're sad. They pick up when we are in fight or flight. They pick up on all those things, and trying to shield them is wonderful, but also explaining enough where they're at to make them feel safe. And then when it's time for them to start dating, instead of shutting them down and saying, I don't want you to date. No, you can't date that boy. We got to explain a little bit. I mean, I understand, because I'm of that school. You do what I say, because that's my parents were of that school. You do what I say, you don't challenge me. But I do think that a little bit of explaining why, because I think that if my parents would have explained it a little bit more on why they didn't want me to date so-and-so, or why he didn't mean me no good, instead of being, he don't mean you no good. Why? And I wish I would have been like, I wish I would have asked why, instead of just challenging them and going ahead and doing it myself. But, that's why I say, we don't know how to date. Because who's teaching us? Who's teaching you how to date? You're navigating out of a relationship. You've been out of a relationship for years, or you were in a relationship for years. You guys decided you didn't want to be together anymore. And now you're navigating the space of being single after being in a 5+, 10+, 15+ relationship with a person that you settled with, hoping that they were going to marry you, or you did get married and it's not working anymore, and now you're choosing you. How do you date? You date with God. You let God show you how you should be treated. Man, woman, you let God show you how you should be treated. You let God show you how you need to be wined and dined. You let God come into those innermost spaces of your heart and allow you to be healed. So you're not dating a person and that person has to heal you. because God is the healer. And he also says, by his stripes, you are healed. By the power and the authority of your words, you are healed. So, you know, allowing yourself to process out those things from being with someone and, you know, have no soul ties, as people like to say. You have to allow yourself to process, right? You have to allow yourself to let God speak to you. And if you're one of those ones like, well, I don't know if he's speaking to me. Well, you're looking for a voice, and sometimes God is not going to come to you in a voice. He might come to you. Somebody may come and bring you a word. And somebody may not bring you a word. So now you got to have discernment. You have to get in your word. You know, you have to seek him. You have to get clarity and understanding. You know, a lot of times these dates that you're going on are threats to the new season that you're going into. And you guys walking right up into that bomb threat too. Ooh, he fine. He smells so good. Bomb threat, girl. Run, girl. And you like, ooh, look at them teeth. Toxic. And you like, dang, girl, I'm 5 years in. He still won't marry me. Yeah, because he told you in the beginning when y'all was dating, he don't see himself getting married. And you decided, oh, maybe I'm the one that's going to make him change his mind. No, girl, you ain't. Because he already decided that he wasn't going to get married. And it's not that God can't allow him to get married. It's that maybe he went through some traumas. Maybe he's seen some things. Maybe he heard some things. He got friends. And the friends that he see dating or married, he ain't liking what he's seeing. So he don't want that for himself. And so you think he's going to be the one to change him. No, change yourself. Change yourself from that mindset. Because I was that girl. Oh, I'm going to make him change his mind. Girl, didn't make him change nothing. All I got was God telling me he a no. And a sad face. I didn't spend 3 weeks with him. I didn't spend 3 months with him, God. I feel like I wasted my time. And God's like, okay, girl, move on. I got something better. Go learn how to date yourself. Go learn how to take yourself on a date. Go learn how to date me. First of all, learn how to listen, because sometimes being a wife up in these streets, no, just kidding. Being a wife up in these streets is not for the faint of heart, baby. Especially if you are alpha woman, you a driver, and then you marry a driver and an alpha male. Somebody in that relationship gonna have to take a back seat. Somebody gonna have to fall back. The man got the assignment. So who about to fall back? Not me. Yes, you, sis. Being quiet's not weakness. I heard somebody say this morning, what she would have, or what she has learned as being a wife is how to be quiet and be still, because prayer works. And it's not you going to God praying to get your way. It's about covering your spouse. So if you don't know how to date yourself and cover yourself, if you don't know how to date God and let God cover you, how are you going to know how to date your husband? How are you going to know how to cover your husband in them times when y'all butting heads and a trauma opens up because you didn't allow yourself to heal, and now you looking at your spouse as they enemy number one because they won't do what you want them to do, or they not saying what you want them to say, and you feel like it's an attack, and it's not, because you didn't know how to cover or be covered. So now you got to learn this lesson as a married person and know how to say, forgive me. So that's for today. That's for today, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this little commentary. Get ready with me. I just wanted to come on here real quickly. I'm about to start running late. But I am Indigo Metellus. And I just want you to live in purpose. love, and faith, and be open to all the possibilities that God has in store for you, and know that you are not alone.